delighted to be with you here in May for the ARIA 412 Concert of the Month, Bootleg Opera, celebrating the Roaring 20s, because we sort of feel like we're past the pandemic, and so it makes sense to just act ridiculously and have a lot of fun. So this time around, we've got an incredible group of performers, as always, for you. We're delighted to have with us this evening Kelly Lynch, Franklin Mosley, yay Franklin, Royce Strider, Brad Townsend, very good, nice to see you Brad, Louise Van Mook, Katie Manukyan, and of course, a remarkable cameo on guitar, her wonderful husband Darren. And then Chantal Braziel, who's going to be singing 2 songs with us this evening. Matt Gillespie will be performing Jelly Roll Morton for us tonight. And of course, my lovely wife, Flapper, Desiree Soteres. Guys, it's so great to have you, and we're so excited to see what you put on for us as we get rolling. And just as a heads up, we'll be quizzing you on Roaring 20s trivia, words and expressions as we interview throughout the afternoon and evenings. All right, let's get this show on the road. Kelly Lynch.
Kip Soteres.
It's great to see you. I'm loving the what should I call your headband, or is it simply a headband? It's kind of a crown headband.
It's a headband with some feathery things on it.
I think that is so deco cool. So now your Roaring 20s trivia question of the day is around expressions. So if you were in the 20s, if you were going to iron your shoelaces, what would you be doing?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea.
Excuse me, fellas. I gotta go iron my shoelaces.
I don't know. Some kind of like euphemism for going to the bathroom?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
that's incredible.
Wow.
You pulled that one out of your headband. Outstanding. Who would have figured? But there you go. You know, people are funny.
I think clothes had more laces then.
Maybe so. Certainly. You know, I can't imagine where it came from, but there you go. From an era where cash didn't mean money, apparently, but that was a kiss, right? And then there's like 800 different other words for money that is not cash or money. So there you go. But I guess, again, if you're, you know, coming out of the Spanish flu, you're thinking a lot about how to spend money and how to have fun with it. So now tell us what you're singing, who wrote it, and why you picked it for us.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm singing It's Today, which is actually a big ensemble number from MAME, the musical. But I really like the sentiment. It's by Jerry Herman, of course. Written in the 60s, but set in the 1920s. So it's fair game. And it's a show about getting out and tuning up the piano and making a lot of noise and having a lot of fun.
I think a lot of people out there are getting ready to make a lot of noise these days. A lot of people seem ready to get out there.
I think so.
Very cool. All right. Well, with that, I think we're so excited to have you kicking us off. So take it away.
I know that this very minute has history in it. We're here.
Kelly, thank you so much for that fantastic performance of It's Today from Maine. And next up, we've got Chantal Braziel, who we're incredibly excited. She's going to be singing us a couple of songs from Porgy and Bess. Chantal, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited every time you come and sing with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. So honored to be here.
And great to have you back in Pittsburgh. I know, before COVID, you were doing some fantastic things in New York. You want to tell us a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about what's next for you?
So, yes, absolutely. So, before the pandemic hit, I have had the opportunity to perform in the ensemble and now the Grammy Award winning production of Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera for the 2019-2020 season. And that entire experience changed my life so much.
And you're going to be singing, you're going to be gracing us with some Porgy and Bess tunes here. So what are you singing for us?
It's actually performed by My Dream Role, and the aria itself is My Man's Gone Now. It is played by Serena, and Serena is an outspoken religious person. She is kind of like the second matriarch of Porgy and Bess. However, in this aria, she mourns over the loss and murder of her husband Robbins, who was murdered by the character Crown in the first scene. And she is having a hard time accepting that, not to mention she needs to come up with the finances to bury her husband.
And that's where they're trying to raise the $25 for the Undertaker. They only get 15. And
Yes.
then the second half, it sort of launches the second half of the opera. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. And now is the very best part. People have heard me yapping my yob. So now they get to hear your beautiful voice.
Thank you.
All right, Chantal, thank you.
Since I lose my man, lying all night long, burning bed.
Chantal, that was amazing. You know, as always, we're so delighted when you can sing with Aria 412, and that performance from Porgy and Bess was just incredible. And next up, we've got Royce Strider. Royce, your trivia for the show this evening is another expression from the 20s: "Know your onions." So, what do you think "know your onions" means?
Can you use it in a sentence?
Sure. When you're heading to the racing track, son, you got to know your onions.
Can you spell it for me?
Sure. K-W O-U-R O-N-I-O-N-S.
Oh boy, that was not helpful. Okay, I'm gonna take a total shot in the dark
Yeah.
and say something about gambling statistics.
You know, it's loosely true. Knowing your onions just means staying up to date. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's like onions wouldn't change that much, but there you go. You got to know your onions. So now tell us a little bit about what you're singing, who wrote it, and why you picked it.
Well, this is The Green-Eyed Dragon by Wassily Charles, which is my absolute favorite art song from 1927. And I was considering the last piece I did when I sang with you all, sang with Aria 412, and it was a kind of a raunchy Cole Porter piece. So I figured, okay, if there are any kids watching this, I'm going to do this one for them. So my wife and I put together a very entertaining number, and hopefully whatever kids are watching this will get a kick out of it.
Wow. Okay. So this isn't like a vague reference to absinthe or, you know, chasing the green-eyed dragon or anything like that. This is just really about
Whoa. Didn't even occur to me.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. And whatever you do out there in the audience, do not think of absinthe while Royce sings this song. So fantastic. Please take it away.
Once upon a time lived a fair princess, most beautiful and charming. Her father, the king, was a wicked old thing with manners most alarming, and always on the front door mat a most ferocious dragon sat. It made such an awful shrieking noise, so all you little girls and boys, beware, take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep off on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers, and duck your heads, your pretty curly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. That dragon he lived for years and years, but he never grew much thinner. For lunch he'd try a policeman pie or a roast MP for dinner. One brave man went round with an axe and tried to collect his income tax. That dragon he smiled with fiendish glee, then sadly murmured, R.I.P. Beware, take care of the green-eyed dragon with the 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep up on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers, and duck your heads, your pretty curly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. That dragon went down to the kitchen one day where the fair princess was baking. He ate by mistake some rich plum cake that the fair princess was making. That homemade cake he could not digest. He moaned and he groaned, and at last went west. And now his ghost with bloodshot eyes at midnight clanks his chains and cries, beware, take care of the green-eyed dragon with 13 tails. He'll feed with greed on little boys, puppy dogs, and big fat snails. Then off to his lair each child he'll drag, and each of his 13 tails he'll wag. Beware, take care, and creep up on tiptoes. Then hurry up the stairs and say your prayers and duck your heads, your pretty girly heads, beneath the clothes, the clothes, the clothes.
Oh my gosh, Royce, you're gonna make your wife into a TikTok star. I don't feel like that's probably 1920s, but what an amazing and mildly terrifying performance, right? The Green-Eyed Dragon. So, and I don't think Mosley Charles is a composer that we've heard so far in any Aria 412 concert. So that's always lovely to get new music in as well. Brad Townsend, this is your first time singing with us. We are so excited to have you. Thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
And a little bird has told me that you are a profound influence on Kelly Lynch's singing life. You inspired her love of jazz. Is that correct?
Well, apparently so. My first job out of college was the band director at Iroquois High School up in Erie. And Kelly Lynch was part of the stage band there and played Kim McAfee in the Bye Bye Birdie.
Wow.
So we've known each other for a long time.
Wow, outstanding. All right, so are you ready for your 1920s slang quiz?
I'm ready.
So what's ducky?
Ducky means it's all good, right?
That's right. So Brad, tell us what you're going to be singing and why you picked it.
Well, this is a Noel Coward song, very 20s in my opinion, and it's from a show called Sail Away, and the song is Why Do the Wrong People Travel? It takes place on a British liner. They're sailing the Mediterranean, of course, and the person that actually brought me to the song was the Elaine Stritch, who I think was just tremendous. And this is a song that she sang. And it was actually a vehicle for her. She was originally a minor role in the show. And the lead was actually an opera singer who they ditched in the out-of-town tryouts and reworked the book and made Elaine Stritch the lead. And this is one of her big songs, Why Do the Wrong People Travel?
Well, first time singing with Aria 412. We're super excited to hear you, Brad. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, take it away.
Travel, they say, improves the mind, an irritating platitude, which frankly, entre nous, is very far from true. Personally, I've yet to find that longitude and latitude will educate those scores of monumental bores. They travel in groups and herds and troops of varying breeds and sexes, till the whole world reels with the shouts and squeals and the clicking of Rolleiflexes. Why do the wrong people travel, travel, travel when the right people stay back home? What compulsions compel them, and who the hell tells them to drag their cans to Zanzibar instead of staying quietly in Omaha? The Taj Mahal, the Grand Canal, the sunny French Riviera would be less oppressed if the Middle West would settle for somewhere rather nearer. Please do not think that I criticize or cavil at a genuine urge to roam. But why, oh why do the wrong people travel when the right people stay back home and mind their business when the right people stay back home? With television, when the right people stay back home, I'm merely asking why the right people stay back home. Just when you think romance is ripe, it rather sharply dawns on you that each sweet serenade is for the tourist trade. Any attractive native type who resolutely fawns on you will give as his address American Express. There isn't a rock between Bangkok and the beaches of Hispaniola that will not recoil from suntan oil and the gurgle of Coca-Cola. Why do the wrong people travel, travel, travel when the right people stay back home? What explains this mass mania to leave Pennsylvania and clack around like flocks of geese, demanding dry martinis on the Isles of Greece? On the smallest streets where the gourmets meet, they inevitably fetch up, and it's hard to make them accept a steak that isn't served rare and smeared with ketchup. It may take years to unravel, ravel, ravel every impulse that makes them want to roam. But why, oh why, do the wrong people travel when the right people stay back home and eat hot donuts when the right people stay back home with all that lettuce when the right people stay back home? I sometimes wonder why the right people stay back home. Why do the wrong people travel, travel, travel when the right people stay back home? What peculiar obsessions inspire those obsessions of families from Houston, Tex, with all those cameras around their necks? They'll take a train or an aeroplane for an hour on the Costa Brava, and they'll see Pompeii on the only day it's up to its ass in molten lava. Millions of tourists are churning up the gravel as they gaze at St. Peter's Dome. But why, oh why, do the wrong people travel when the right people stay back home? Won't someone tell me why the right people stay back home?
Brad, wow. Once again, that's Why Do the Wrong People Travel? Katie, I know you also are bringing us something very inspired by the 20s. But before that, are you ready for your 1920s slang quiz?
Why not? Throw it at me.
All right. So for this, your expression is tell it to Sweeney.
Tell it to Sweeney. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I think that means I don't want to hear it.
Sort of close. It's like, it's more like, I don't believe it, right? So if I told you, that if we injected ourselves with disinfectant, that it would make the COVID go away.
You mean it won't?
Then you would say, tell it to Sweeney. See
Tell it to
how that
Sweeney.
works, right?
Mhm.
So now tell us what you're singing, why you picked it, and who wrote it.
All right. I picked a song called Singing in the Bathtub. In all honesty, I knew I had to pick a 20s song and I didn't want to go with, just your everyday thing. So I delved into YouTube playlists of female vocalists from the 1920s. And then when I heard this song, I said, that's got to describe the experience of a lot of us, whether we be professional singers, amateur singers, not singers. Everybody's been singing in the bathtub and only the bathtub for this last year, except for, of course, those of us who are fortunate enough to partake of ARIA 412 virtual concerts, right?
Now, are you like ankle deep in gin, or are you just sitting in the bathtub? I mean,
I'm sitting in the bathtub, I think, right? I don't know. It works either way.
we're so excited to hear you sing it. So Katie, take it away.
All right, but let me give one shout out to my accompanist for this concert first, Kip. It's going to be my husband, Darren Manukyan, with his performance debut of his life.
Wow, okay.
On the guitar. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
What's the big Here, drum, break your head. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?
Katie. That was amazing. Bathrobe and all. Brought the husband there on accompaniment. That was amazing as well. And then on top of that, you know, a lot of hijinks. So thank you so much for that amazing performance. Always enjoy having you singing with us. And speaking of enjoying having people singing with us, next up is Franklin Mosley, who is doing Two for Tea or Tea for Two from No No Nanette or Nanette No No. Great to see you.
It's good to see you too, Kip. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Are you ready for your 1920s crazy slang question?
Let's give it the old college try.
All right. So in the 1920s, if you referenced manacles, what would you be talking about?
For some reason, eyeglasses are coming to mind, but
Yeah. No, it's a wedding ring, my friend.
well, I wouldn't know.
Putting on the manacles is getting married.
I see. You know what? I was thinking monocle. That's why I thought eyeglasses.
There you go. That would that makes sense to me. It works. You are, well, we already said you're singing Tea for Two.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about who wrote it and why you picked it.
So the music is by Irving Caesar, but yes, it's from the musical No No Nanette. I love the tune. I like to dance and I love a good soft shoe. And so I love dance music. I just thought that this would be very fitting. It was a very popular tune in the 20s. And still today, it's sampled and modified in a lot of modern music. And so I just thought that it would be a fun tune to do for this occasion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Now, I'm so excited to hear you perform it, Franklin. And thanks as always for joining us. We always benefit from your incredible talent.
Well, thank you. I hope you all enjoy this one too.
I'm sure we will. Take it away, my friend.
I'm discontented with homes that are rented, so I have invented my own. Darling, this place is a lover's oasis where life's weary chase is unknown. Far from the cry of the city, where flowers pretty caress the stream, cozy to hide in, to live side by side in. Don't let it abide in my dreams. Picture you upon my knee, just tea for two and two for tea, just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone, dear. Day will break and you'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Oh, can't you see how happy we would be? We will raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Oh, can't you see how happy we would
Well, Franklin, once again, you never cease to astound me with your, incredible talent. That's a fantastic take on that very familiar and wonderful song from the 20s. So thank you so much for that. And next up, now we've got Matt Gillespie. Often, they accompany us with us when we do our live shows, and even some on the videos over the past several months. It's great to have you on with us doing a solo bit, Matt.
That's correct. Glad to be here.
Now, are you ready for your 1920 slang quiz?
Probably not, but let's give it a shot.
All right. Your 1920 slang term for the show is, what is a hay burner?
I'm gonna guess it's some sort of party or big to-do or some festive occasion.
That is not a bad guess, right? It's such a big party, let's set the hay on fire here.
Why not?
That's how the Chicago fire happened, I believe. But
You're right.
Unfortunately, there were two correct answers. A hay burner was either a term for a gas guzzling car, but more prominently, you would use that to reference a losing racehorse.
Yes, okay, gotcha. Yeah, very nice.
So, silly Sally coming in last, and you'd be like, what a hay burner. I can't believe I put down 2 bits on silly Sally, right?
Very evocative slang.
There we go. Very evocative slang. What a great time period. So now, speaking of the time period, Matt, tell us what you're going to be performing and who composed it.
I'm going to be playing a piece by Ferdinand Morton, better known as Jelly Roll Morton. I'm going to be playing a piece of his called The Pearls.
Well, on that note, Matt, take your dexterous digits and roll us away.
All right, let's have it.
Matt, as always, what a fantastic performance. Thank you again. And with that, I'm delighted to bring back Chantal Braziel, who's going to be doing another song from Porgy and Bess. Chantal, tell us a little bit about Summertime.
I am going to be singing the very first aria that starts out Porgy and Bess, and that's the all-time favorite, and that is Summertime. Summertime is actually played by the young mother, Clara, who sings Summertime as a lullaby to her baby. But at the same time, she sets the mood and the atmosphere of Catfish Row. She enjoys her life as a wife. She enjoys her life as a mother, and she's just enjoying the easiness of summer. It's hot, but everything is okay. And also, Summertime is a song of hope. She really gives hope to not only her child, but to the community that things will be better, even in really difficult circumstances. So Summertime speaks even outside of the opera.
Wow, Chantal, so amazing, huh?
Terrific.
I just think, that Summertime, it just gets you every time, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And perfect, not and seasonally apt, as we all can't wait for summertime to really
That's
get
right.
cooking here, and era apt. Perfect for bootleg opera. What do you think?
That's right.
I'm delighted to have her sing with us. What a talent. And so next up, we've got my lovely wife, Desiree. Are you ready for your quiz?
Not at all.
Not at all. That's how we like it. That's how we like it. All right. So your slang word is Mrs. Grundy. What is a Mrs. Grundy?
I don't know. A lobster? That's what I think of.
You do?
I don't know why.
You think
It
of
just popped into my mind and it sounded really good.
I wonder if it's related to Solomon Grundy at all. But in any case, a Mrs. Grundy was a very straight-laced person who would always bust up the party. it's the opposite of you.
Ah, I see.
Yes. So now tell us a little bit about what you're going to be singing, who's it by, and why you picked it.
I am singing Liza by George Gershwin. It's a song that Matt Gillespie and I have done many times, actually. Matt will be accompanying me on the piano. I think it's just a great, song that kind of feels very 1920s to me, and always one of my favorites.
Don't tell Liza, always tell the truth.
Yes.
Take it away.
Moon shining on the river, come along, my Liza. Breeze singing through the treetops, come along, my Liza. Something mighty sweet I wanna whisper, sweet and low, that you ought to know. My Liza, I get lots of honey when I'm all alone so long. Don't make me wait, don't hesitate. Come and hear my song. Liza, Liza, skies are gray, but if you smile on me, all the clouds are away. Liza, Liza, don't delay. Come keep me company, and the clouds will roll away. See the honeymoon shining down. We should make a date with Parson Brown. So, Liza, Liza, name a day when you'll belong to me, and the clouds will roll away. Liza, Liza, skies are gray, but if you'll smile on me, all the clouds will roll away. Liza, Liza, don't delay. Come keep me company, and the clouds will roll away. See the honeymoon shining down. We should make a date with Parson Brown. So, Liza, Liza, name a day when you'll belong to me, and the clouds will roll away.
Whoa, Desiree, loving that Liza. Oh man, bringing the 1920s heat. You know, I love it when my wife sings, and that was definitely a sizzling slice of Liza. It was. Don't you think, Louise? Would you not agree?
100% all the time. Yes.
There's a consensus now. So, I need your slang. Oh my goodness. So your slang word for the 1920s is jorum of ski. What is jorum of ski? I'll have a jorum of ski.
Sounds like something you'd say if you were, I don't know, trying to get a consensus among friends, like a majority, maybe?
Sure, like a clean
Or
convention or whatever. The Durham of
maybe.
I
Or
think
something to do with a drink.
there
Is
we
more
go.
likely. Okay.
Durham of ski apparently is like when you're gonna do like have a drink of something that is really, really strong. It sort of knocks your socks off, right? Then you're drinking.
Sounds about right.
So now tell us a little bit about what you're gonna be singing.
So I'll be singing a song called Raise the Roof from the musical The Wild Party, the version written by Andrew Lipa from the late 90s, early 2000s, but set in the roaring 20s. And really the title of the musical kind of sets up what's happening in my piece, where my character is having a kind of a crazy party with a lot of really fun friends and individuals, and she's just setting the scene and trying to get everybody just as excited as she is about this roaring party at her house.
Lock the door and stop complaining. Gather round and listen well. From now on we're entertaining how to hearten up this hell. Hold your mood and hold your bladder. Skip the food and stop the chatter. Can't you hear the pitter-patter? We're not here to eat. We came for the heat. Let's raise the roof. Let's make a scene. Let's hope the gods of love will shine above and show the way. Let's call the shots. Let's roll the dice. Take my advice, it always pays to raise the roof. Crush the ice and shake forever. Tell the evening where to go. If you need a new endeavor, I can teach you what I know. Grab your partner by the collar. Bribe the barman with $1. Just ignite a mighty holler. Lead me to the trough till the clock goes off. Let's raise the roof. Let's make a scene. Let's hope the gods of love will shine above and show the way. Let's call the shots. Let's roll the dice. Take my advice, it always pays to raise the roof. Let the neighbors scream and shout. Who cares if they do? If they don't see the light, we'll keep them up all night. So cut the strings and set the table. Gather roses on your way. Welcome to our Tower of Babel. Learn the language, come what may. Spare me how the wind is blowing. When you see the whiskey flowing, you can reap what you've been sowing. If you walk the plank, you've got me to thank. Let's raise the roof. Let's make a scene. Let's hope the gods of love will shine above and show the way. Let's call the shots. Let's roll the dice. The time for playing nice is done. Before the big hand hits the one, we've got to do what must be done. So put away your smoking gun. Time to have some fun. Time to beat the sun. Raise the roof.
Louise, oh my God, that was just amazing. Thank you so much for that rendition of Raise the Roof. So excited to have you with us once again. It's always a great performance that you bring to Aria 412. Thank you for that. And so that brings us to the end. We're shutting this joint, this gin joint down, and I hope you enjoyed the show this month in May. And once again, we want to thank all of our performers, Kelly Lynch, yay, Chantal Braziel, Royce Strider, Brad Townsend, Katie Manukyan and her husband Darren, Franklin Mosley, Matt Gillespie, Desiree, Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And Louise Van Mook. Mook. Hey, fantastic. Man, what a fantastic show, guys. Thank you. And again, just a few more weeks, we're going to have some very exciting news to announce about Aria 412. Here's a hint. You're going to actually get to see us together, or at least some people are, in a socially distanced and safe environment. So whether that starts in June or July, we're still putting the final details on it. But that alone should get everyone excited. We cannot wait to see you in person. But in the meantime, what a fantastic job. Especially want to call out Kelly and Desiree for keeping Aria 412 alive, making it real, and their Up Close and Personal series they started during the pandemic. So they did not let this thing slow them down. And the party is only just beginning. So we'll see you guys next month. And maybe next month we will actually see you. So take care and hope you enjoyed the show. Bye-bye.